Welcome back. You joined the HOG Auckland Chapter as we set off from North Auckland Harley-Davidson on what's one of the first rides of the 2021/22 summer riding season. This is in fact also the first organised HOG ride since the lockdown hit the country on 17th of August earlier this year, so some months ago. Now on this particular Saturday the chapter was running two separate rides, one leaving from Auckland Harley-Davidson and one leaving from North Auckland Harley-Davidson. I chose the North Auckland one because it's closer to where I live, so convenience is all in this case. Now I'm getting a slightly different perspective on the ride this day because I'm volunteered to take on the role of Tail-End Charlie on this ride, which is helping the road captain run the ride and keep the riders together, make sure nobody gets lost if anybody breaks down or, worst case there's an incident of some kind, that they've got some assistance there with them. And when regrouping happens, the Tail-End Charlie's job is to make sure that we're still with everybody, catch up to the road captain, let them know, hey look, everything's fine behind, we can carry on. Now I've been on a ton of rides with HOG Auckland Chapter before, but I've never filled out the role of Tail-End Charlie, so I was actually pretty interested to see how does it work. And in some ways I have to say it's pretty nice. You just hang back at the rear of the group, keeping an eye out for the group of riders and make sure that everybody's okay, that we're not getting ourselves into any kind of trouble. And the ride had broken up into two groups earlier at the bottom of the Barriers Point Road, where the notoriously short phasing traffic lights are. We didn't all get through, so the group at that point split into kind of two parts. I'm of course behind the second part, so as well as scanning all the time to make sure that I'm keeping tabs on every rider that was in the group directly in front of me, which contained about 7 or 8 bikes. Also got to keep an eye on the side of the road just in case we happen to come across another rider who from the first group who might have fallen behind for any or whatever reason. Tail-End Charlie's got to also look out for any of those people, see if they need any assistance of any kind. So you're constantly looking and reviewing, trying to make sure that you're not getting too much separation between you and the group in front, looking behind to make sure you're keeping everybody safe from whatever's coming behind, and looking to make sure not only for the group that you're riding with, in the case like with this case where the troop had broken up into two parts, that the first troop didn't leave anybody behind along the way that we need to scoop up as we travel along. So there's a few things to be thinking about. There's also though plenty of time to just enjoy being out on your bike, riding on a gorgeous day, heading over the Auckland Harbour Bridge. As we're coming down the southern side of the bridge heading towards St Mary's Bay, the group has kind of found its lane. We're all set up into staggered formation and riding pretty smoothly. There's not much traffic around at the moment, so it's a pretty pleasant little run. We come around the corner. We need to be taking the North Western Motorway direction. That's where we're heading for before we kind of go country. So to do that we need to head over the Victoria Park flyover and take the northwestern route kind of underneath what they call Spaghetti Junction. It's just a whole lot of motorway interchanges on all sides. It's kind of interesting. And once we get through onto State Highway 16, which is the Northwestern Motorway, we just keep on pushing along up there towards near towards the end, Royal Road. And at that point, if we haven't already caught up to the first group by that stage, the plan was that the group would be waiting for us at or near the Royal Road off-ramp. So it all seems to be going quite nicely at the moment. Haven't found any stragglers along the way, so looks like we're going to have a fairly comfortable start to this ride. slight change in the staggered formation alignment just happened back there. Not quite sure why, it doesn't really matter, but clearly there was some alignment adjustment at the head of the queue that passed on back down towards the rear, so everybody just shuffles to make sure that we're still keeping an alignment, staggered formation, which is going to keep us in best shape to be able to take evasive action and still enjoy the ride without running into any kind of problems with our nearest riding companions. Now at this stage we've already got off State Highway 1 and we're heading up towards what is called Spaghetti Junction, which you'll soon see the reason why. There's a lot of interlaced motorway overbridges all over the place up ahead. We just carry on the lane that we're in. It'll take us through into State Highway 16, which is the North Western Motorway, and that leads out to the direction that we're trying to get to, and that's where we're going to meet up with the rest of the group. Coming up under here, you'll see it starts to get a little bit darker. This is probably the meat part of Spaghetti Junction. It's not exactly a tunnel, but it's certainly sheltered from the rain when it's tipping down out there. And we come through here and we're now on a completely different motorway. And at this point, this is about where I'm going to leave it. We'll join up with the other riders and we'll continue that in another video. So for now, just wish you all safe riding wherever you are. Ride safe, have fun. See you out there.